students, I hope all of you are doing great. Welcome to Social Science class. Today we will discuss Chapter 6, the Western Desert. Under this chapter, we will be discussing about the location and extent of the Western Desert, the type of climate, natural vegetation and wildlife, and how do the people get water in the desert areas, and lastly, the life in the region. Now let us get started. What is a desert? A large area of dry land with very little vegetation is called a desert. Let's see the location and extent of Western Desert. The Western Desert is also known as the Thar Desert, which lies mostly in the states of Rajasthan. It also extends into the southern part of Haryana and Punjab and into the northern Gujarat. Some part of the Western Desert also lies in Pakistan. It is seen that about 70% of Rajasthan is covered by desert. Therefore, the state is also known as the Desert State of India. The Western Desert is covered with sand dunes and sand hills, which keep on shifting from one place to another due to the strong winds blowing in these areas. We have seen with pictures in our online class. Now let us see the type of climate, natural vegetation and wildlife in the Western Desert. What do you think the climate of Western Desert? Is it cold or hot? Yes, it is both. So now let us see the climate of Western Desert. Climate. The desert area has extreme climate. It receives very little or no rainfall. The sand in the desert heats up very fast and cools down faster. So, the days are very hot and nights are cold. It is seen that Rajasthan is the hottest state of India. It has very hot summers and cold winters, and it receives very little rainfall. Natural vegetation. What is natural vegetation? Natural vegetation refers to the plants and other flora that make up the plant life in the region. The natural vegetation will determine the characteristics of the area. Due to scanty rainfall, not much vegetation grows in the Western deserts. There are thorny bushes scattered over a large area. The natural vegetation of the Thar Desert is made up of trees, shrubs and herbs, as I showed you in our online class. Wildlife. What is wildlife? Yes, wildlife refers to the animal species. The Thar Desert is home to several species of reptiles. Animals like the black buck, Indian wild ass and the Indian gazelle are found here. The desert is also home to a large number of birds like peacock, great Indian bustard and spotted flycatcher, wherein we have seen all the species of this desert with pictures in our online class. As an activity, I want you all to collect the pictures of different species found in the Western Desert and stick them in a chart paper. Now let us discuss about how people get water in the desert areas. Since the state of Rajasthan receives very little rainfall, there is acute shortage of water. People use water from wells and tanks to irrigate their lands. Some parts of Rajasthan are irrigated by the Indira Gandhi Canal, one of the biggest canal projects in India. Write a short note on the problems faced by the people living in the desert due to shortage of water in a sheet of paper. This is your activity. Now let us see the life in the Western Desert. I will give you a short summary of the life in the Western Desert. As we all know, Jaipur is the capital of Rajasthan. The people of the state of Rajasthan generally live a simple and traditional life, whereas the main occupation of the people here are agriculture and rearing of animals such as sheep, goats and camels. The main crops grown here are pulses, jowar, maize, sesame and groundnuts. Sandstones, straw, grass, mud and unbaked bricks are materials used to build houses. Ghumar and Kalbilia are famous dance forms of Rajasthan. When it comes to food, Dal Batti Kurma is a famous dish of the state, whereas the traditional dress include dhoti, angrakhi and pagri. We have seen in more detail about the life in the Western Desert with pictures and videos. Therefore, in the chapter The Western Desert, we have learned and discussed about location and extent of the Western Desert, about the type of climate, natural vegetation and wildlife found in the Western Desert, how people get water in the desert areas, and lastly, the life of the people in the region. That's it, dear students. I hope all of you will do the activity. See you soon. Thank you.